Hey, so for today, there's a pretty long workout. There's a strength piece followed by a conditioning piece. So every 90 seconds for 18 minutes, you're going to be doing this strength portion. Set number 1 is going to be 8 to 12 contralateral deadlifts per side. Set number 2 is going to be 8 to 12 goblet split stance squats per side. Set 3, 10 to 16 plank pass-throughs, and then set 4 is just going to be a 20-second per side single leg plank hold. Yeah. So every 90 seconds, you're going to be completing one of those for 18 minutes. So it's going to end up being 3 rounds of that. Just a second. All right. So all you're going to need for today's workout is a dumbbell. So just have that nearby. We're going to start off with the usual body weight warm-up. So you're just going to start off nice and simple with a 100 lateral hop. All right, after the 100 lateral hops, you're going to get into your squat stance. You're going to come into the bottom of your squat and grab onto your ankles or your toes. From here, you're going to extend the knees back. You're going to come back down into your squat. Then you're going to walk your hands out into a push-up, do a push-up, and walk back in. Again, you're going to repeat by extending the knees. You're just going to do that for 5 reps. All right, after that, you're going to come into a down dog. From here, you're going to get your left foot outside your left hand. You're going to drop the left elbow to the left knee, rotate up towards the ceiling, grab onto the left ankle, extend the back knee, and then come back to where you started. Then you're going to go right leg outside the right foot, drop the right elbow, right arm goes to the ceiling, grab onto your right ankle, extend that knee, and come back to start. You're going to do 8 alternating reps, so 4 per side. All right, and then after that, You're going to lie down on the ground, chest facing the floor, and you're going to have your feet together and arms extended in front of you. Your palms should be facing the floor. From here, you're going to lift your chest and arms off the floor, bring your arms out to the sides, then rotate so that your palms face the ceiling. You're going to have your thumbs touch behind your low back. Then you're going to come back out, rotate the palms back down so that they face the floor. Have them hover over your head, and then drop the chest and arms. You're going to do that for 10 reps. All right, and then you're just going to run through that circuit one more time. So don't do the lateral hops, but you're going to do 5 more of the squatting inchworm bootstrappers, 8 more of the world's greatest stretch rotations, and then 10 more of the lying shoulder cars. All right, now we're just going to go through the list in order as usual. So we're starting off with the contralateral deadlift, then the goblet split stance squat, the plank pass-throughs, and then the single leg plank hold. So I would grab your dumbbell or kettlebell. And then starting with the contralateral deadlift, that's going to be opposite hand to opposite foot. So we're just going to warm up with some single leg deadlifts where you're going right hand to left foot. You're going to touch your toe and then stand up. You're going to do 5 with the right hand touching the left toe, and then 5 with the left hand touching the right toe. All right, now we're gonna go through the same thing, but with a dumbbell now. So same rules apply. This time you're just having the top of your dumbbell, well, bottom of your dumbbell, touch your left toe. And then you're just going to stand. If you struggle with balance like I do, I would just have your hands supported by a wall or a chair. Yeah, you're just gonna do 5 per side. Try and make sure that back stays flat and you're engaging those lats. All right, so that was a contralateral RDL. The next one is the goblet split stance squat, and this is kind of just like a stationary lunge. So without the weight, you're just going to start by setting your feet. You're going to have a little bit of space between your front and back foot. That way you're not just walking on a tightrope. And then from here, I would test out the stance just by checking to make sure that when you lunge, your knee touches the ground below your hip, and you can create a 90-degree angle with your front foot as well. It's going to be a little bit awkward to start. You might have to play around with something that's slightly more comfortable. But yeah, find that stance on both feet and just go through 5 split stance squats. Again, you might have to move the front foot forward or back just to make sure that you can stabilize in that position. Cool. So now we're going to do the same thing with the weight. It is a goblet squat. You're going to be holding the weight at your chest. You're going to come into that stance, and then same thing. You're just going to do 5 split stance goblet squats per side. All right, next thing is the plank pass through. So for this, we're just gonna warm up with a 20-second palm plank, but we're gonna straddle our feet just a little bit more. So your feet should be just outside your hands, shoulders over your palms. You're just gonna hold that for 20 seconds. In 3, 2, 1, and go. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, so for the plank pass through, this is just like the drags that we would do at the gym. So you're going to start with the dumbbell just underneath the outside of your left palm. You're going to come into that same straddled plank stance. You're going to shift your weight to one side, drag the dumbbell under your hand to the other side. Make sure it goes outside the hand, and then you're going to do that with the opposite hand. So make sure that you always drag to the outside of your hand and that you're pulling from underneath your wrist instead of over your wrist. So you're going to do 6 alternating drags. So it's going to be 3 per side. And then the last piece is just going to be a single leg plank hold. So for the single leg plank hold, you're coming back to that straddled plank position, hips nice and low. All you're doing is lifting one foot off the ground. Try and have that toe facing the ground if possible. So right now, you're just going to try 10 seconds per side on the single leg plank hold. 3, 2, 1, and go. 3, 2, 1, and switch. And rest. So those are all 4 of the strength movements that you're doing in the workout. And it's kind of like a Metcon where you're just going every 90 seconds. So in the first 90 seconds, you're doing set 1. So 8 to 12 reps per side of the contralateral deadlift. In the next 90-second interval, you're going to do 8 to 12 per side of goblet split stance squats. Then in the next 90-second interval, 10 to 16 plank toss-throughs. That's not per side, that's going to be total. And then set 4 is going to be 20 seconds per side of the single leg plank hold. So you should have about 30 seconds to rest between sets in this Metcon. Yeah, and it's going to be 4 sets total, I believe, 3 or 4. Either way, the clock is counting up to 18, so you'll be able to see that. Yeah, I will call out every 90 seconds and then on the plank every 20 seconds. Any questions? All right, if not, we're gonna get started with the strength portion. All right, contralateral deadlift, 8 to 12 per side in 3, 2, 1, and go. All right, after this, we're moving on to the goblet split stance squat, 8 to 12 per side. Split stance squat in 3, 2, 1, and go. After this, you're moving on to the 10 to 16 plank pass-throughs. Three, two, one, and go. And then after this is going to be 20 seconds per side of the single leg plank hold. Single leg plank hold in 3, 2, 1, and go. Three, two, one, and switch. And grab. That was set number 1. After this, you're going to move back to the contralateral deadlift. Deadlifts in 3, 2, 1, and go. 8 to 12 per side. After this, goblet split stance squats, also 8 to 12 per side. squats in 3, 2, 1, and go. All right, after this, plank pass-throughs. All right, pass-throughs in 3, 2, 1, and go. 10 to 16 reps. All right, and then after that, single leg plank hold. All right, plank hold in 3, 2, 1, and go. Three, 2, 1, and switch. Three, 2, 1, and rest. All right, we're going to do one more round of this circuit and then talk about the conditioning piece. Again, you're going to go back to the contralateral deadlift for 8 to 12 reps per side. Deadlifts again in 3, 2, 1, and go. After this, split stance goblet squat. No, goblet split stance squat. You're going in 3, 2, 1, and go. All right, after this, plank postures. Three, 2, 1, and go. All right, and then one more single leg plank hold per side, and then we're going to talk about the conditioning piece. Three, 2, 1, and go. And switch. Three, 2, 1, and rest. All right, so that's it for the strength piece. Now we're going to talk about the conditioning piece. So you still need your dumbbell, but if you have a jump rope, I would take the jump rope out for the double unders. Cool. And again, the conditioning piece is 30 alternating snatches, 100-foot walking lunges, alternating every 25 feet. I'm going to talk about the substitute if you don't know what 100 feet is. 90 double unders, and then 30 more alternating power snatches. So we already did the deadlift. So now we're just going to go with 10 alternating high pulls. All right, and then after the 10 alternating high pulls, we're going to go with the full power snatch. You can switch off the top or at the bottom. Either way, you're going to do 6 alternating power snatches. All right, and then after that is the 100-foot overhead walking lunge, and you're alternating every 25 feet. So that just means that you're going to be switching arms every 25 feet. If you don't know what 100 feet is, I would just do 40 to 50 in place lunges or 40 to 50 walking lunges. A step is about 2-ish feet roughly, so that's why I'm saying 40 to 50 steps should be about 100 feet. So you're just going to start by having one arm directly overhead in line with your ear, and you're just going to give me 5 alternating lunges with the left arm up and then 5 with the right arm up. All right, then you're going to pick up your object. Same thing, you're going to get it directly overhead. Try to make sure that you're pulling the object in just a little bit so that the dumbbell is over the top of your head. And then you're going to do the same thing, 5 alternating lunges with the left arm up and then 5 with the right arm up. All right, and then after that, you're going to grab your jump rope. You're going to do 20 single unders followed by 10 double unders. All right, so thinking this is about a 10 to 15-ish minute workout. 30 alternating power snatches. After that, 100-foot overhead walking lunges, alternating arms every 25 feet. If you're doing 40 to 50 steps, I would just alternate arms every 10 steps. And then if you're doing 50, I would split the last 10 into 2. After that, 90 double unders, and then 30 more alternating power snatches. So pretty shoulder intensive workout. Just keep that in mind, especially after going from the overhead lunges to the double unders. So take a second between movements. I would divide things up into sets of 10, except for the double unders if needed. And yeah, I will call out every 5 minutes, although I really don't think this is going to take longer than 15 minutes. Any questions? All right, if not, you are starting with the power snatches in 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go. 30 alternating power snatches. After the 30 alternating power snatches, 100-foot overhead walking lunges.
Are there double unders between them? On Waterfly it says 90 double unders, and then
Oh,
no?
then it's 90 double unders. Sorry, I must have forgotten to write that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot the 90 double unders. Sorry. All right, 90 more double unders and then 30 alternating snatches. All right, 9:06. Nice job. I'm gonna do a quick cool down, then I'll let you go. So for the cool down, we're gonna start off with some nice and simple, just body weight Jefferson curls. You're gonna cross your hands over your chest, tuck your chin, and then staying nice and close to your body, you're just gonna round one vertebrae at a time, drop the elbows at the bottom, pull them back in, and then reverse that. You're just gonna do that for 8 reps. All right, and then after 8 of those, you're just gonna have a seat on the ground with your knees under your hips and hands under your shoulders. You're gonna go with 10 wrist circles clockwise and then 10 wrist circles counterclockwise. And then after your 10 and 10, you're just gonna finish off with 10 cat-cows. All right, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for taking class, and if you take class on Wednesday, I will see you then.
Thanks,
Bye.
Ursula. Bye.
You're welcome.